Welcome to my Maths Digital presentation. A few steps we need to remember when factorizing. When factorizing simple quadratics, we look for two numbers that add to give the coefficient of x and multiply together to give the constant term. When grouping, you must split the expression in half and factorize each. And remember difference of two squares in brackets a plus b, in brackets a minus b, and then it equals to a to the power of 2 minus b to the power of 2. Now let's begin the questions. Now we'll move on to factorizing the simple quadratic. Remember, when it comes to this, we have to figure out the two numbers that add to give the coefficient of x and two numbers that multiply to give the constant term. For this also, we need two brackets. So we'll draw up two brackets right next to each other. And since there's two plus signs, we'll need to draw two plus signs. But this is because there are positive numbers in this equation. So we'll draw two plus signs, one in each bracket, and x in both, because x times x equals to x to the power of 2, and 5 in one bracket and 4 in the other bracket, because when they're added, they give 9. When they're multiplied, they give 20. Now, if we expand this, we will get the exact same answer as the expression question. This is the working out. So x to the power of 2 plus 4x plus 5x plus 20 equals to x to the power of 2 plus 9x plus 20, which is the same thing. Now we're up to b. There will be two brackets as well, but there is also two x's before I move on. And then there are two different symbols. There is a minus and there's a plus, which makes them slightly different. So now we have to do one bracket with a minus and one bracket with a plus. So now we'll have to draw that down. And since there needs to be two numbers that add to give 17 and multiply to give 70, which will of course be 7 and 10. So now we write 10 and 7 in each bracket. Now we'll move on to factorize using grouping. So first of all, we need to split this equation down in the middle, like I said at the beginning. And then we'll start with the first one, then the second one. So the first one what's a common thing in between both numbers is x, and then we'll add the brackets. For x and y, what's x times something equals xy? Is y. And then there's plus in the middle. So we'll need to add the plus. And 2x, because 2x times x equals 2x to the power of 2. Now we'll have to add another plus in between. And y is the most common out of those two terms. That's the word. And then brackets next to the y. And then we have to add another y in the brackets, because y times y equals y to the power of 2. And then plus 2x, because 2x times y equals 2xy. So those two brackets are the same. The expressions in the brackets are the same. So we'll have to write a next separate bracket with y times plus 2x, and then another bracket with x and y in it, because those are the extra ones, and this is how you do grouping. So x plus y in another bracket. Now we can do b, the same tactic used. So what's a common term in the first part? We need to do, because we need to divide it in the middle. So a common term in both is b, and we need to add brackets next to the b. Put b in the brackets, because b times b equals b to the power of 2. And then minus, because there's a minus between them two. 5, because negative 5 times b equals negative 5b. Then we have to add another plus in between, and a common thing between these two numbers is c. So brackets next to the c, and then b in the middle, because b times c equals bc. And then minus 5, because minus 5 times c equals 5c, so let's add 5. And the two terms the two expressions that are the same go in their own bracket, so b minus 5, and then another bracket next to that with b plus c, because those are two extra ones. Now we'll simplify the product of two algebraic fractions. So let's first just add down here two fraction lines and with the multiplication symbol in the middle. So we'll have to factorize the top of the first fraction. So we have to find the common factor, which is 3, because 3 times 4 equals 12 and 3 times 1 equals 3. Then so we have to put x next to the 3 because x is in both terms, and then brackets next to 3x with 4x plus 1 because of when you expand it equals to 12x to the power of 2 plus 3x. So that's 1. Yep. And then we'll do the bottom part. The bottom part's quite simple. All we have to do is root each term, and it will have to have two brackets, each with x in both. One will be a positive and one will be a negative, and they'll both be 4 because 4 times 4 equals 216. Now 4x plus 1 is already factorized, so we can just add it as it is. And now we have to factorize the top. Two numbers that add to give 14, 4 and 10, because they both multiply to give 40 as well. So 10 times 4 equals 40, and 4 plus 10 equals to 14. So now we'll have to put the two brackets on the numerator, and then x, and then plus 10 plus 4. Now we'll do the crossing out and simplifying. So x plus 4, get rid of those two. There's also 4x plus 1 and 4x plus 1. Now we have to merge the fractions together, so 3x, and then brackets x plus 10, and below it will just be x minus 4, and